Hi there, everyone. So I think that you can see me live now. We are just about to get started. So leave me a comment in the chat down below, or actually I guess it's to the side right now, and let me know that you can see me, that you can hear me. I know that in the past we've had a little bit of trouble with the audio on these live streams sometimes, so let me know if you can hear me all right and if everything is good with that. I'm just going to pull up the live stream myself also so that I can make sure that everything is good to go. But welcome to everyone who is here. I am so excited to be doing this. You guys ask me questions all the time about how to get started on YouTube, and so I just decided to do this live stream today to make sure so that I could answer all of your questions, get you the answers that you need in order to be as successful here on YouTube as you possibly can. So let's see, I'm looking at the chat right now, and looks like we have a lot of latency now. So you guys are seeing me like a long delay after I'm talking, which is fine. But let's see. So one person said they can hear me. Okay, awesome. Okay, it sounds like you guys can hear me. Sounds like everything is fine. So in today's live stream, I'm going to be answering a bunch of questions that you guys submitted when I asked you what you wanted to know about starting and growing YouTube here on the YouTube community, and also a few questions from Instagram and things like that. So thank you to everyone who submitted your questions ahead of time. I hope that you find this really helpful. And it's a little bit low. I can turn it up. Turning it up now. Okay, so I'm probably a little bit louder now. And feel free to ask any questions that you have in the chat's over there, I guess, in the chat over there. And I think we'll just get into this. So let's go ahead and answer the very first question. So here we go. The first question came from Fatima, and she asked, hello, I have, if I can read, right? I have started a YouTube channel, but most views I get are from unsubscribed people. So what should I do? And thanks. So Fatima, that is actually a fantastic piece of information. It's really good news. If you're getting most of your views from unsubscribed people, that means that you are successfully working with the YouTube algorithm. YouTube is understanding what your videos are about, and it is sharing it with people, and you are getting exposure to new people who could become your subscribers. So don't worry about that at all, but what you need to do, and this is so key, you need to make sure that in your videos you are successfully converting those people into subscribers, because you have this big opportunity to be able to earn subscribers there. But if you aren't delivering the really good value there, if your videos don't compel them to subscribe, if you don't ask them to subscribe so they even remember to do that, then you're gonna miss out on that opportunity and those potential subscribers. So just keep that in mind, but like I said, that is really good news actually. So anyone else who is getting started here on YouTube, you've started to get your first few views, go ahead and look at your analytics and see how many of your views, what percentage of your views are coming from unsubscribers. If right now not very many are, that's okay. It just means the YouTube algorithm hasn't really figured out who wants to watch your videos yet, but you want to get that number as high as possible if you want your channel to grow as quickly as possible. Okay, next question. This one comes from Z, and Z says, could you please tell me what should be the length of YouTube videos and minimum video of posting frequency in a week, as I'm a fresh YouTuber? Thanks. Okay, so that is a great question, and I actually have an exact scientific answer for you. There have been a lot of studies that have been done to figure out exactly what length of video does the very best on YouTube, and they've figured out that 12.5 minutes is the ideal length for YouTube videos. So that is the target that you really want to be aiming for. Now, with that being said, I always say that the most important thing when it comes to your video's length is that you want your videos to be the right length for whatever video you're making. So the video length that fits your content, the video length that fits how much you have to say or how long your story is, okay? You don't want to do a daily vlog just as an example, and think, okay, it needs to be 12 and a half minutes, but you had a boring day, so you have 12 and a half minutes of boring footage. It would be way better, and the video would perform much better if you made a 6-minute daily vlog and you only hit on the highlights of your day. Or, for example, if you want to teach people how to do some sort of complex but really interesting thing, and there's a lot of detailed steps, you wouldn't want to cut your video short at 12 and a half minutes if you had 20 minutes of fascinating things that you wanted to share with them. So you want to make sure that your video is as long as it can be while still keeping your video's attention the entire time. So cut your video down if you're filling it up with fluff, but you can aim for that 12 and a half minute mark because that is the sweet spot. Okay, next question. This one comes from The Sunny Edge, and The Sunny Edge asks, do you delete all your videos once they're uploaded to YouTube? That's what I've been doing, but wondering if I should be saving them for some reason. Okay, this is a good question, and the reason that I wanted to answer this was because a lot of you actually ask questions about like how do you store your video footage and things like that. How big of a hard drive do I need? So I thought that we could touch on that with this question. So basically, I do recommend that you save a copy of your videos because, first of all, you never know what could happen with your YouTube channel. Every once in a while, there's a glitch in the system and videos accidentally get deleted. It's possible your account could get hacked. Like, there are things that could happen, and you would definitely not want to lose all of the effort that you put in to making those videos. You want to have that, that content that you've made. It's your content, it's your creative work, and you want to have a copy of it. So I do recommend that you keep your videos separately from YouTube. The other thing about the other reason why you want to keep them separate from YouTube is because the copy that YouTube keeps, it actually like seriously downscales it so that the quality is a lot lower, and it will reduce the quality when you upload it and again if you download it. So the copy that you have on YouTube that you can get access to, the copy you'd get back will be, the quality will be deteriorated. Anyway, so how to store them. You can store the raw footage, or you can store just the edited video. If you aren't that into videography, if you're wondering, do I even need to store them, then you probably just want to store the finished videos that you create, the edited videos, because those files are gonna be way, way smaller, way, way easier for you to store. You can buy a 1 terabyte hard drive for not that much money, maybe about $50 or so, and store a very large number of edited videos on that. If you are wanting to store the footage itself, which personally what I recommend is, or personally what I do, what works for me, is I don't really need to store the A-roll, the me talking to the camera part, because I'm not probably going to reuse that in a future video. So I store the edited video, and then I store the B-roll, which is all the extra footage that we add into the videos, because that footage can be reused. But that footage is very large, just the file sizes are very large. So I have a few multiple terabyte hard drives that we store that on. I fill up about 1 to 2 terabytes, probably about 2 terabytes a year with that. Another thing is someone was asking like how much storage do you need in order to make and edit videos, like how much storage do you need on your computer? If you have an external hard drive, you can edit off of that, and so that can help you to overcome any limitations on your computer. But video editing is like fairly resource intensive on your computer, so if you have a very small hard drive, like under about 120, am I saying this right? 128 gigabytes, then you won't be able to have enough space on your computer to store the files that are being edited and the files that the editing program is generating while you are editing. So just keep that in mind. But like I said, you can do it from an external hard drive as well. Okay, let's move on to question number 4. So this one comes from Simply Haley, and Haley asks, trying to manage time/home life. I have a baby and a new puppy, LOL. How to plan, film, edit videos faster and easier. Okay, so I'm not gonna get into how to manage your life right now. I think that that is such a separate topic all on its own. But the reason I wanted to answer this question is because I did have a few thoughts about how to make videos a little bit faster. So here are my best quick tips on that. First of all, and I mean, this will sound incredibly obvious and maybe not like what you want to do, but consider making slightly shorter videos. Really. Now, I know it's a little bit funny for me to be saying that because I tend to make kind of long videos, but if you have limited time, if you make slightly shorter videos, it is going to save you a little bit of time. So that's the first thing to keep in mind. Second thing is you can probably film several videos back to back, like batch record, at least the A-roll, the talking to the camera part. So you can't, because most of the time, a lot of what takes the time to make videos is the setting everything up, the doing your hair, the doing your makeup, the setting up your lights, all of that. So do that once and then sit down, talk to the camera for 2, 3, 4 videos back to back and make them short so that you have enough energy to do that. And when I say short, I don't mean like 2 minutes short. I mean at least 5 minutes, so that we're getting into that YouTube sweet spot, but maybe aim for that 5 to 12 minute mark instead of that 12 plus minute mark. Okay, so that'll help you out because then you'll get the A-roll filmed. Next tip is edit that A-roll as soon as possible, because if you've just recorded that A-roll, that you talking to the camera, you'll know where you made mistakes and what you need to cut out. So you'll be able to edit it the fastest if you do it right then. Another thing, when you are editing, keep your editing simple. Now, there are cases where spending more time on editing can make your videos better, can make them higher quality. But unless you have advanced editing skills, advanced cinematography skills, chances are your videos will be better off if you actually spend less time editing and you keep it really simple, especially if it's a video of mostly you talking to the camera. You just need to cut out the mistakes. Don't worry too much about like adding in graphics and text and music and all of that, because more likely than not, you're just going to be cluttering up your video. So that's just something to keep in mind. So keep your editing simple, and then once you've edited your A-roll, you might want to make your videos even better by adding in some B-roll, which is just like extra footage to illustrate what you're saying. And you can get that in like a very flexible way. So you don't have to sit down and get everything ready to film B-roll necessarily. You can just be like, okay, I want a shot of this. I want a shot of me doing this. And you can do that more casually and just kind of as you have time, and then add it into this video project that you've already started editing. So I think that all those tips will help you to really make your videos faster and honestly make them even better. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break from questions just to let you know, in case you're interested, you'll see a link down below for Video Creator Academy. The doors to Video Creator Academy opened up this morning, so if you are on the wait list, if you've been waiting for the program to be released, then now is the time to get in, because we only have registration open for 1 week, and then we are going to be closing down registration and running the program live for 6 weeks. So if you want a lot more detailed training, step-by-step training, where I'm actually showing you how I make my videos, how you can make awesome videos that people love to watch, then consider joining us inside Video Creator Academy. It is my brand new program that is a video creation boot camp, 6 weeks of really improving your video creation skills, which will directly affect your success here on YouTube. So if you are interested in starting or growing your YouTube channel, and specifically I'd emphasize the growing side of things, then this would be an awesome program for you to consider joining. I know that personally, I've seen a direct correlation between improving my video skills and my growth here on YouTube. You might know that I had a different YouTube channel in the past. Back in 2015, I started a YouTube channel and it really didn't go anywhere. And the main reason it didn't go anywhere, even though I posted videos for 3 years, was because my video quality was terrible. So if you think that that could possibly be something that's holding you back, then you might want to look into Video Creator Academy, because when I started this channel and I started actually working on improving my video quality, this channel grew a whole lot faster. Okay, so let's get back to the questions, but I just wanted to let you guys know about that. Some people were asking in the where is it, over there in the chat, some questions about Video Creator Academy, like how much does it cost and what's included. If you click that link down below, most of those details are covered, but if you have more questions, feel free to shoot me an email at contact@gillianperkins.com. I'll type that into the chat right now. That's the best way to get in touch with my team and I, and you can ask us any questions that you have about the program. So let me just type that in real quick. Perkins.com. I'm like typing in a weird way over here because I've got my keyboard over to the side so my microphone can be right in front of me. Okay, back to the questions. Where are the questions? Here they are. So this question comes from, I can't read this, I'm sorry, it's too small. Okay, Marginy, maybe that is really your name? I don't know. And Marginy asks, how to make YouTube suggest my videos and gain more followers? Okay, so you ask a huge question that I have created multiple entire videos about, but I'll just touch on a few key tips here. First thing is you need to make sure that you're making videos that the YouTube algorithm would want to recommend. So that means you're making videos on topics that people are interested in, and you're making good quality videos. That's where improving your video skills can really come in and help you succeed. Beyond that, what you need to do is make sure that the algorithm understands what your videos are about. Because here's what's going to happen. If the algorithm doesn't understand what your videos are about, then it will suggest it to some people, but they will be random people, and those people are pretty unlikely to actually enjoy your videos, to actually be interested in them and choose to click on them or keep on watching them. So then the algorithm will think that people don't like your videos, but that might not be the case at all. In reality, the problem might just be that the algorithm doesn't really understand what your videos are about. So you need to make sure that in your video, you clearly say the keywords that your video is about, that you give your video an accurate title, not just a clickbaity title, not just an exciting title, but an accurate title that has the right words in it, and that your video description clearly describes what your video is about, especially that first sentence in your description. Get in your main keywords there. And then, of course, video tags. Now, video tags, honestly, they don't do that much anymore because they became such an easy way for people to try to trick the algorithm, essentially, that YouTube has pretty much stopped caring about them. And I've got that straight from YouTube themselves. They directly told me, yeah, keywords, tags, they don't really matter anymore. So just something to be aware of, but every little bit helps. So that still is a place where you do want to put those keywords in. Okay, so those are some of my main tips, but honestly, it's so easy to get caught up in the SEO side of things, how do I get my videos to rank? And, what's the perfect title formula? And what do I need to put in the description and all the metadata? But really, most of the difference, most of the opportunity to get ranked and to get suggested happens in those first two things I mentioned. Choosing video ideas that people are interested in, and then making videos that people love to watch. That is what is going to get you the furthest. That last little piece that people get so hung up on, YouTube SEO, that is the icing on the cake, that last 20% of getting results, but the 80% is the other parts. Okay. Next question. This one comes from Danson for Joy. Thanks for submitting a question, Danson, because I know that you've been a long time viewer of this channel. So Danson says, is there a painless yet effective way to learn video editing? Nearly every video on my channel is filmed in one take because I don't know how to edit. Okay, so the reason I wanted to answer this question was because a lot of you have been asking me questions about editing. How to edit, what editing software to use. It seems like something that a lot of you are hung up on. So how to learn video editing. First thing is I would recommend finding a simple video editing program. It is very, very tempting to try to go all in and decide to start with Premiere Pro or Final Cut or something like that because you want the best. But really, video editing doesn't have to be that complicated unless you're using a complicated software, and then using the software itself can be pretty complicated. So find a simple software. If you're on a Mac, then iMovie is the place to start, really. Please start there. If you're on a Windows computer, then we used to have Windows Movie Maker, and that was the equivalent of iMovie. But now that doesn't exist. So now a lot of people tell you to download something like Shotcut or Lightworks. Now those are great video editing programs, but they're not quite the simple program that I would recommend. So I don't have a specific recommendation for you today, but I recently discovered And maybe I'll make a video about this pretty soon, but I recently discovered that in the Microsoft Apps Store on your Windows computer, there are a bunch of free video editing programs that are a lot more simple. So if you just type in Movie Maker into that Microsoft Apps Store, then you will find several different options. And like I said, they are free and they are simpler than those other ones. So you might need to download a few of them, but a lot of them are called things just like Movie Maker. And so then you'll be able to actually like try out something simpler. So that's the first thing. Choose a simple video editing program. Second thing, keep your editing simple. You're intimidated by learning how to edit videos, but it doesn't need to be complicated. Just if you make a mistake, then in your video editing program, cut that mistake out. Really, like start there. Just cut out mistakes that you made. That is like 80% of basic good video editing. So the other potentially tricky parts of video editing when you're first starting out is just like getting your video footage into the editing program and then exporting it. Those things should be pretty straightforward, and once you learn how to do them, you'll know how to do them forever. But just keep it super simple at first. Don't make it overly complicated. Don't think you're trying to do anything fancy. Just cut out your mistakes. When you export, you generally want to use the setting to export as an MP4 file, because that's what works here on YouTube. Specifically, in a lot of programs, you're going to choose the setting H.264, and then within that, you can either choose YouTube, or you can choose 1080p, or you can choose MP4. That will get you in the right spot. But can't get into that in a ton of detail right now, although maybe we could do a live stream of editing video sometime in the future. Let me know in the chat over there if you'd be interested in seeing that. A live video editing tutorial, let me know. Okay, let's see, which number question was that? Yeah, okay. So moving on to this question from Let's All Crochet. Let's All Crochet asked, keyword research and tags in detail for YouTube using the free available software. Thank you for all your videos. They have helped me so much. Okay, so thank you for your question. I really appreciate you taking the time to ask that and to help out with this live stream. There are a bunch of different free keyword research software options out there. You guys are probably aware. There's TubeBuddy, there's vidIQ, there's Keywords Everywhere, there's Google Keywords AdWord tool, Google Keyword Planner tool in AdWords. That's what I'm trying to say. And so the two that I think that most YouTubers gravitate towards are TubeBuddy and vidIQ. They both have a free option. They're both very similar. A lot of people ask me which one is better. Honestly, they're both good. I don't really have a strong opinion one to the other. I'm personally using vidIQ right now, but doesn't matter that much. So let's see. How do I say this? You know how I said that focusing on YouTube SEO is that last 20%, and it's not really where your focus should be? Your focus should be on finding the video topics that will perform well and on making actually good videos. Well, tools like vidIQ and TubeBuddy, they can easily make it very, very tempting for you to waste a lot of time on that last 20% that isn't really going to get you most of your results. If I can not hit this. So just like be aware of that. You don't want to over invest in that side of things. What those tools are good for is finding keywords to make your videos about. Now, my favorite tool of all those tools I mentioned is definitely, absolutely Google, the one I can't remember the exact name of, Google Keyword Planner tool, which is in AdWords. Now, if you search for if you just Google any of those words, Google Keyword Tool, you will find it, okay? But that is what it's called, Google Keyword Planner tool in AdWords. It is a very robust, like heavy-duty tool that can give you all sorts of advanced answers and advanced research without being too much. It's not like too complicated or anything. But that is the tool that I would recommend for doing your keyword research to decide on your video topic and to decide what keywords to include in your metadata. Then my other keyword research tip is don't be afraid to go after popular keywords. In fact, I would recommend going after the most popular keywords that you can find, as long as they are specific to your video. So you don't want to just go after a general keyword because, oh wow, so many people are searching for funny cat videos, right? Okay, that's not going to work because you're going to have a ton of competition and no way to differentiate your video. But as long as your topic is relatively focused, relatively narrow, you want to go after the most popular keywords that you can find, even if they're competitive. Because why would you make a video about something that people are less interested in when you could make a video about things that people are more interested in? The fact that there is competition out there just means you need to show up and make an actually good video on the topic. And yes, it might mean that it takes a little bit longer for your video to start really competing with those other videos. But I promise, if you want your channel to grow quickly and you want your channel to be as valuable and as interesting to your subscribers as possible, you want to go after the keywords that people are really the most interested in. Okay, moving on to question 8. This one comes from Mandy, and she says, maybe some tips for someone wanting to start out with nothing but a smartphone and a laptop. No budget yet for equipment or fancy software. Okay, good question, and a lot of you ask questions very similar to this. How do I start with a laptop? Or how do I start with my cell phone? What do I need to get started? That sort of thing. So first off, I just want to let you know that starting with your cell phone is totally Gillian approved. Absolutely. In fact, it's what I recommend for most people who are first starting out. And the reason for that is because if your cell phone is good enough quality, then it is something you already have, something you can get started with right now, something that you already know how to use and won't. So you're not going to hold yourself back by waiting for equipment or waiting to learn how to use this new equipment or waiting to be able to afford the new equipment. You can just get started now, and that is going to help your mindset so much. And it's also going to mean that you start growing your channel sooner. So use your cell phone if it has good quality video. If your phone is less than a year or two old, or even 3 years old, then it probably will do a pretty good job. Now, with that being said, when you're using your phone to make your videos, there are a few things that you need to do in order to get the most out of it. For example, your lighting gets extra important because your cell phone has a very small sensor in it, which basically just means that the thing in it that the light is hitting that is creating the image is very small, so it can't pick up that much light. So you need to make sure that you have plenty of light in front of you, shining on you, not too harsh of light. You want that light to be diffused, like a bright window or a soft box or a ring light or something like that. I mean, a window really can do a great job. Make sure there's plenty of light. That's going to help out so much. And then also you want to make sure that your phone is pretty close to you because of the microphone. If you're not using an external mic, the further away that mic is from you, the worse it's going to sound. So those are just a few quick little tips. And then as far as, let's see, editing. So you can either edit on your phone. If you edit on your phone, then there are a few different good options out there. My favorite one is Adobe Premiere Rush. It's $10 a month, so not free, but a really good option. And a lot of the other options that are free will put a watermark on your video, and in order to get rid of that watermark, you're going to have to pay $5 or $10 a month anyway. So just keep that in mind. Adobe Premiere Rush, that's what I use when I edit on mobile. The nice thing about editing on mobile is it will be a lot faster if you're doing simple edits because you don't have to transfer the footage from your phone to your computer and deal with that whole hassle. And you're just doing it right there. So it's just like less thinking. If you're doing more complex edits, you definitely will want to get it into your computer though, because you'll be able to edit faster on your computer. Okay, and then if you want to edit on your computer, I already touched on some good free software options there. Specifically, go to the Microsoft App Store, which is already on your Windows computer, and just search for Movie Maker. You'll find a few different free apps, and I'd recommend just trying out the ones that have the highest ratings and reviews because they are rated there and like with hundreds of reviews, so that will give you a lot of good information. And if you're on a Mac, use iMovie. That really is what I would recommend if you're getting started on a budget. Okay, question number 9. So this is another question from, I'm just going to call you Marge. I hope that's okay. And she says, sometimes it's quite difficult to memorize some things that I will be saying on camera. How do I improve this? I would improve that by not memorizing things that you're going to say on camera, because the more you try to memorize, the more you are going to sound like an awkward robot and the less personable and genuine you're going to sound, and the more awkward you're going to feel, and it's just gonna like stress you out a lot more. So I recommend using a simple bullet point outline for making your videos, at least for your talking points, and speaking very naturally from that. Now at first, whether these are your first videos or whether you've made a few videos but you're in the habit of scripting them, this is gonna feel extra uncomfortable. You're gonna feel like you don't know what to say. But if you just practice speaking from a simple outline, you will quickly get comfortable and you will greatly increase your confidence. You can actually really hold yourself back by always scripting and using that as a crutch. Now, when I'm making a video though, I don't just have this simple bullet point outline. First of all, I add a lot more details into the outline, just not details of words I'm going to say, but rather like facts I want to mention or points I want to make. So I might add a few more bullet points that are like single words of points I want to make sure I cover, or I might add some quotes in there, or like a note of I want to recommend a certain book, but I don't add more specific wording because I find that it just really kind of messes me up and it makes me more stressed out when I'm making the videos. It makes the process longer and the results just don't turn out as well. So that's when I'm planning out the content of the video. Now in my actual video production planning process, after I plan that out, then I go through and I plan out all my B-roll and any shots that I'm gonna get, if I'm gonna take it in different angles, things like that, and then I plan out any graphics. Now that is something that is covered quite extensively in Video Creator Academy, so if you want to learn more about how to create a production plan for your videos and really take your video creation skills to the next level, make your videos a lot more dynamic, then you can learn that as a student in Video Creator Academy. Okay, so here's my last question that was submitted ahead of time, and this question comes from Rebecca. Rebecca, thank you for having an easy name to pronounce. And Rebecca says, I would love to see you talk about getting comfortable on camera, and finally letting go of your first video and sending it out, even though you don't have the experience to produce the quality of work you want yet. Perfectionism, while being a newbie, is a sucky combination. I can totally relate, both because I've been there and also because I tend to be a lazy perfectionist, which also is not a very good combination when you want really good results, but you don't want to put in that much effort. Something I've been working on my whole life. So, first of all, your perfectionism is not a bad thing, because remember how I told you that first YouTube channel I started, it never went anywhere, and it was because I was not being a perfectionist about my videos at all. I was just uploading them, whether they were good or whether they were bad, and that really held my channel back. So making high quality videos, yes, do that. As far as getting over the perfectionism though, and actually just publishing your videos, I've got two big tips for you. One, keep your videos as simple as possible, because the simpler your videos are, the less there is to mess up. So if you are getting a bunch of different shots, then the lighting in some of those shots might be crap. So make sure that you can get just like a fewer number of shots with really good lighting, good colors. That's going to satisfy your perfectionism. And then the other thing is when you're editing, also when you're talking to the camera, if you keep it shorter, you keep focused on your main points, then you won't be as bothered by a long rambly video. Start with an outline so that your video is more focused. Okay, and then moving on to editing, I know I've said this a bunch of times today, but keep your editing simple. Just cut out the mistakes. Just correct the colors a little bit, Don't worry about adding in all these graphics and all this music or things like that, because those additional components are just additional ways that you can mess up your video, that you can clutter it up, that you can make it look not very pro. So when you're first starting out, keep things super simple. Okay, and let's see. Then the other part is, how do you get over the fact that your video still isn't perfect, it still is like a newbie video, and manage to publish it? Here's the good news. When you publish your first video and your first several videos, almost nobody is going to watch them. And that really is good news, like really, truly, very, very good news for you, because even if you try your very best and make that video as good as you can, it still is gonna be a first video. You're still gonna be learning, and that's okay. Fortunately, almost nobody's gonna watch you be like messing up watch you not be a pro yet. So you'll have time to get comfortable and to improve your skills before people start watching. And the more you do improve your skills, the better your videos get, the more people will watch. And as you're growing your channel, if you want, you can always go back and private those first videos. That's always an option if people start actually watching them. But you just need to get those first videos up there and start consistently practicing making videos every week and consistently publishing every week, because that is what will allow you to really improve your skills and to start growing. If you wait until you are good at making videos, that time will never come, because you have to make videos in order to get good at it. So you have to just start at zero where you're at right now. That's where everybody starts. Start making videos with the skills, the knowledge, the ability that you have, and be willing to have them not be quite perfect. But keep them as simple as possible, because that really will help. Alrighty, this has gotten very long. I hope that you had lots of your questions answered about how to get started and grow on YouTube. We're gonna wrap this up. Before I do, just wanna remind you one more time that right now, Video Creator Academy is open for enrollment. It will only be open for 1 week from now. So click that link. Now, if anyone is watching this video later on, you're wondering if it's still open, just click that link anyway. It will take you to the waitlist page after we shut down registration, and then we'll let you know, if you sign up for the waitlist, we'll let you know when the program reopens, but it's gonna be a little while. So if you're interested in joining, now's the time, because then we're going to shut the program down, and for 6 weeks, I'm going to work really intensely with all the people who are in the program and help them to improve their video skills as much as we possibly can in that 6-week period. I want you to be one of the success stories of this first class in the program. I want to be able to show an amazing before and after of this is how you used to make videos, and these are your videos now. So if you're interested in becoming one of those case studies, becoming one of the examples that we can use when we are sharing the program in the future, then check that out. I'd love to have you in the program. There's really, I would say, nothing else you can do that would help your channel more than working on improving the videos themselves, because that is the key thing that will make your channel stand out and make people want to watch your videos and choose to subscribe and choose to watch more of them in the future. All right. I think that that's everything for today. Thank you so much for joining me live. This has been fantastic. I'm glad that we managed to get all the tech to work right. And I hope that you enjoyed this and found it helpful. And I'll see you guys next week with another video. Okay, bye guys.